So I'm going to explain this in a minute. Whoa, that's loud, isn't it? Welcome to Canada with Katy. We're going to talk about some stuff. I did not turn my phone on Do Not Disturb, so hopefully it does not ring. I might go grab it while we're doing this. And I'm going to roll the intro and be right back. Boom! Let's do this. Okay, I was actually able to go and grab my my phone to make sure it's on Do Not Disturb. I hope that the show is running. I seem to be more and more disorganized as I go along. But hi, yeah, it looks like it's running. I put up this Reflectix stuff on my windows because my windows are almost 100 years old, and they get very hot. Oh, you can't see little Sitsquatch because he is behind my name there. Oh, well, here he is. He's hanging out with me. So I'm going to show you again some places. This is in Edinburgh only. And then I'm just going to talk about some stuff a little bit. And then, and that's it. So thanks for joining me here. But this is really fun. So as I showed you before, Atlas Obscura is a super cool way to see the sights in a city, and a lot of the times it's free. So the places you go are like, just off the beaten path. I mean, there's some that you would have to pay for sure. I'm actually clicking my thing to get it to come up on the thing here. So I did not pull up the site, but I did show it to you last time. So it's Atlas Obscura, and then you can actually put an app on your phone. I'm like, where's my phone? And it's easy to look up. So you're not gonna be able to see it. It's too busy. I did like a vision board, which I'm going to talk about with you guys again. And it's too busy. So here we go. Boom. Okay, so more Atlas Obscura. Okay. Oh, those are my notes. Those are all the places I wanted to see. And then the mailboxes thing is I had to mail some stuff back home. But this is the first one. And I just kind of went through and highlighted stuff. So the dog on the right is okay. I'm going to talk about both of them really quick. So it's called a canine connection. Celebrity dogs fall into two categories usually. I'm going to move myself down here. Perfect. Okay. Most of the time, the first one is where a dog is noted for its loyalty to its master, especially when it extends past that owner's death. The other is when a pooch's personality is so charming that an entire community adopts it and takes care of it. Okay. So this is called, one is Greyfriars Bobby, which is the little one that's sitting up on the left there. And the other one is, where's the name? Bums. Okay. He's called Bum, B-U-M. His story began in San Francisco, arriving in San Diego on a boat. He was famous for sleeping on his own. Oh, sorry. He was a stray dog that had arrived as a stowaway, and all the locals adopted him and looked after him. Greyfriars Bobby is the other one, and he was famous for sleeping on his owner's grave. Okay, so it was kind of neat because in 2008, Edinburgh was gifted with a sculpture of Bum, while San Diego received one of Bobby. So they call them, it's in here somewhere, the sister cities, for some reason. Maybe that's in the other one, because Greyfriars Bobby, he was a Skye Terrier, and he actually kept vigil on his owner's grave for 14 years. And when he died in 1872, he was laid to rest in Greyfriars Kirkyard, which is churchyard, not far from his owner's grave. And then they made this monument. Isn't that cool? So those are just little things you can see. Now, this is interesting. This is beautiful. If anybody's watching wants to comment and guess what that is, what kind of glass, I'm going to tell you right now so you won't get it in time. It's a Tiffany glass window at the parish church of St. Cuthbert. So on the western edge of Princess Street is the church. Okay. It's so this window is located on the northern wall, and it's only one of 3 examples of stained glass windows manufactured by Tiffany and Company in all of Scotland. So this image is the biblical figure David on his way to take up arms with the giant Goliath, and it was made in 1903. So I actually took one. This is a picture off of Atlas Obscura because you can see it a little better there. And then there's the church from the outside. Whoop. Okay, now this is a really interesting one. This is the St. John's Churchyard branch sculpture, and at some point in the middle of 2019, this is approximately 5 foot tall sculpture made of wooden branches, and it just appeared in the churchyard. And then there's a cemetery there located in the Prince Street again. There's lack of any plaque of information about the artist. It just appeared. And the figurative sculpture seems to represent a childlike figure being held aloft by a larger individual. And it says, echoes of Edward Munch's The Scream, along with its placement in a cemetery, make it possible that it might be meant to represent grief. It could also be a tribute to mother or baby or both, dead and buried in that cemetery for a long time. There's a lot of speculations about that, but isn't it beautiful? And honestly, you wouldn't see it. It's like off in this corner like that. So then there's just, it's a beautiful churchyard, so you can see all that stuff there. So those are the kinds of fun things that you can find. Okay. La la la. Here we go. This is more of the churchyard. It's just beautiful. You know me and graveyards. All right, this is Bin's Clock, and it's on the far western end of Princess Street. Everything's around there, okay? A main artery of retail shops and restaurants in Edinburgh, and it's a timepiece that appears to have been presiding here for decades. In fact, this clock is named after the department store that was once in its locale. Now you can kind of see the edge there of Walker. It's the new Johnny Walker experience. It's a 200-year-old whiskey company that took over the building in 2019. And the timepiece has some interesting features, and I wish I would have looked this up before I went there to get this on video. But for those that want to see a display of a kilted Highland figures marching out at 7 minutes and 37 minutes past the hour, these odd times are a specific Highland tradition. The pipers will first appear just after the hour to the tune of Scotland the Brave, and just after half past to Caller Heron. The Cumbria Clock Company was painstakingly accurate, to see that the clock's colors and mechanisms were brought back to their original splendor. It's a pretty neat looking clock, though. And honestly, it's just up there, and you're just walking along, and you would never notice it. So I'm just digging all the stuff that you can see. This is an interesting little piece. It's the Northern Lighthouse. Scotland has a lot of monuments. There's a Walter Scott monument and a Melville monument commemorating Henry Dundas in this area. Okay. And not far from those is this. It's one of the city's most prestigious streets. It's a minuscule model of a lighthouse with a working and revolving lantern. How cool is that? And you guys, I don't know if you can notice it, but the bottom right. So I took a closer up picture. You're kind of down below it. And then I took, kind of a street view. But on the bottom right of the street view one where you can see the steps, there was a lady sitting there with a grumpy face. And I used PixArt and blurred her out. So you can kind of tell. But isn't that cool? Like I was able to take her out of there. So this happens to be the headquarters for the Northern Lighthouse Board, which provides marine navigational aid for the coastal areas of Scotland and the Isle of Man. So this small beacon has been in operation since 1950, constructed on the premises, and the board was founded in 1786. It moved to this building in 1832. Isn't that cool? Now, this one is actually, I forgot to get information on this. It's not the archives. The gallery, Scottish National Gallery. It's got a bunch of beautiful paintings and stuff. I wasn't going to run you through them, but that's a Rembrandt. So I've actually seen a Rembrandt in person, which I think is pretty cool. And this one wasn't on Atlas Obscura, but it's just such a cool monument that I would show. I wanted to show it to you. And of course, the weird angles I like to take. This is one of the most iconic landmarks in Edinburgh. It's dedicated to Sir Walter Scott, one of the largest monuments to a writer anywhere in the world. So upon his death in 1832, the city came together to agree on a fitting monument. It's actually massive. You can go up inside there. I think it's only 8 pounds, but I didn't go in it. I mean, I got to save something for my next trip, right? And these are just, my pictures I like to take around the area. Whoop, whoop. Okay, these are the statues of William Wallace and Robert the Bruce. Pretty neat. That's the gates of the castle. So the picture in the middle there, that's considered the castle grounds. So like you're outside of it and it's roped off and you can't walk up to that entrance there. So it kind of sucks. But it's really cool. Do you know who's who? A lot of people don't stop to notice. They don't know that they're there. So they're two of Scotland's most celebrated historical figures, and they're tinted a little greenish gray with age. They were erected in 1929, and Wallace is on the right. Among the first Scottish leaders to revolt against King Edward I of England, and then Robert the Bruce, King of Scots in 1306. Ended up signing the Treaty of Edinburgh, Northampton in 1328, which recognized Scottish independence under his rule, at least until his death a few years later. So they're really prominent figures, but it's funny because you'd probably be walking in and just not notice it, Okay, this is an interesting thing. It's called the Witch's Well, and many are unaware that they're walking atop the same ground that once saw the terrible death of hundreds of accused witches, and that's right outside the castle, like right outside the castle. So they were denied a proper burial, and thus their remains were left where they perished. Ew. The Witch's Well is a cast iron fountain that you can see there, and plaque. It honors the Scottish people who were burned at the stake between the 15th and 18th centuries. That's quite a long time. It's easy to miss, though. It's very easy to miss. I actually was walking and couldn't find it. And a guy, one of the guard guys, that's around the castle pointed out to me. So the small plaque features a bronze relief of witches' heads entangled by a snake. It uses dualism to highlight the balance between good and evil and to show that every story has two sides. The trough is sculpted on three sides. That's holding the plant there. The font displays flora with roots beneath the earth and branches above. The left panel depicts the evil eye with frowning eyes and a nose. And the right side depicts a pair of hands holding a bowl meant to represent healing hands. And this was erected in 1912. So even though some of these things are within the 20th century, I mean, things began like between the 13th and 18th century. They were all executed. Okay, this is the Writers' Museum. I don't have too many pictures of it. That's a neat little stairwell. It's a skinny little thing there. All this has been free, like I said. This is really close to the top of Edinburgh's Royal Mile. They call it a historic close, C-L-O-S-E, which means alleyway. And it was built in 1622. And it has writings from Robert Burns, Sir Walter Scott, and Robert Louis Stevenson, three legendary Scottish writers. So this place conserves and exhibits rare books, manuscripts, portraits, and personal items belonging to the 18th century poets and 19th century poet. Okay, so just outside the Writers' Museum is Macker's Court, an ever-evolving public area featuring flagstones etched with names, dates, and quotes by Scottish writers from the 14th century to contemporary day. And I forgot to put a picture in here. I had one, but I forgot it. That's what it looks like in the inside. That's Louis Stevenson's, some of his stuff down there. I'm almost done here. So the Scotsman Steps, these are interesting. Tourists and locals just go up and down these steps all the time, and they don't really notice what's going on there. Can you tell like how different they're looking they are? That was constructed in 1899. And the 104 steps link the North Bridge to Market Street. And then it got dilapidated and everything. And they, in 2011, they hired this artist, Martin Creed, and he created new steps sourcing marble from the world's major quarries. Each step is a different color, creating a cascading rainbow of swirling stones. So that's the Atlas Obscura experience there. I've got a couple of videos to show you. And at the top of the stairs, see how you can see the different colors? The unfortunate thing is, like, you can honestly smell like urine and stuff, and there's a lot of graffiti, which is super unfortunate, but it's still really cool to see. And at the top of the steps there, you can see that view of whatever that is in Edinburgh. Okay. Now I've got a couple of things. So I did a time-lapse video of the Scotsman Steps. So I'm going to show that to you right now. It's like 10 seconds. And you can just see, like, I was like, it's a good thing you can't hear me because I was like, 104 steps. There's a lot of steps in Scotland. Okay, here it is. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Not sure why there's no sound on that one. But this is just a video I took of a lady walking down the street. I wasn't quite to the Royal Mile yet. I was on the other side looking at some of these things. And I was like, she looks like she's in like a 19th century, like detective movie. Like what's his name? I can't think of him. The famous one. But look at this video. I just liked it. So I just put it in here. Like a model walking down the street. So Sherlock Holmes, that's what I was trying to think of. Like a model walking down the street or something. Okay, so I was thinking about some things, and there's just been a lot of stuff going on. There's been a lot of negativity out there in the world. I'm so tired of it. I've had a little bit of a yeah, Annie just said Sherlock Holmes. Yeah, I thought of it right when I was doing that. And there's been some like drama in the games, and I'm actually not going to mention stuff. I have a little bit of a imposter syndrome going on with winning the world champs. I mean, it's awesome. Like, I mean, how many people can say they won a world championship? But I just have there's just a lot of stuff going on. It just really it's kind of deflating and negative and stuff. And so I'm just I'm not going to talk about it actually because we can only control our own emotions and stuff, right? So I'm just going to be the person that's here to. I mean, there's been stuff that happened with people that I thought were friends that ended up being unyielding and unreasonable in my mind, and that's okay. If they don't feel the same way about me, then it's okay. We got to just move on and do our thing. So I hope sharing stuff like this with you is fun. It kind of seems to me like the old whatever people would do in the 70s or whatever when they'd get the slideshows. People come over and they're like, "Oh my God, eye roll." Tried to make it as quick as possible. But here are some positive things. This is what I was going to talk about. So this is me. This horrible picture of me. I made it bigger so you can see. I'm walking around in my Vivio or Vivo barefoot shoes. Quite interesting on cobblestone streets. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to put this picture up because I think it's hilarious. And it really embodies who I am. Just goofy and weird. And who gives a crap, honestly. Do your thing. Have fun. And it doesn't matter because guess what? I didn't know any of the people around me. It was a stranger that took a picture of me. So this is what we should be doing. The other thing I wanted to talk about again was mention that we got to compete it was a pretty big deal to compete at the Braemar Games where no women have been allowed to compete before. And Scotland and the organizers and everybody was so gracious about everything. We just wanted to bring awareness, women's awareness, like women are throwing in this sport, and we wanted to bring that out. And so we did, and it was great. And I would love to go back again. It was a beautiful field. And then we competed in Blair Gowrie, and some of our new friends sent, this is sent to, I took this from Laura, I'm blanking on last names. I took this from Laura, and that's us in the paper. So we're in the paper there, and they're sending that to us. Oh, Laura Anthony. And then that's like actually one version of where we were there and all of us. So it was just really fun. And it's really cool to see people come together from all countries and get to do fun stuff. So just remember, guys, life is like a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. Look who said that, Albert Einstein. If you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, change your attitude. So that's what I'm doing. And then don't forget, while you're busy doubting yourself, someone else is admiring your strength. Somebody sent me that. My friend Pam sent me that. She just had a feeling that I was feeling a little weird, which I need to end now because it's been 20 minutes. But thanks for joining me. This was a blast. I'm done with my Atlas Obscura stuff, but when I go to another place, you bet I will have some. I just won't make new shows except for maybe parts of it, like the coolest parts. So don't forget to use it when you go out of town or when you're looking around your own town, state, whatever. Go find fun things to do. When people come to visit, it would be really fun to take people to places like that. Annie says, thanks. Thanks, Annie. And that's it, guys. Oh, you know what Sit Squatch says? The journey begins with you. So be good to yourself, okay? And the Horgan, loves you. I will see you next week. All right. Bye.